So we joined back in after last week, last session. Sorry, I always do that. Our adventurers had taken their first steps not only into the corrupted plane, but also into the realm of Daggerheart. As we they have Dante and Eleni have found themselves above a swamp, corrupted swamp, more familiar to Eleni than Dante, but have found themselves fighting corrupted, leather coat clad, creepy faced humanoids, um, and on the other, in a different place, no seeming to be able to figure out where each other are at the minute. Volu and Ichi were contending with Fey-like corrupted creatures that were seemingly at first intent on getting hold of Volu, but after encountering Ichi, turned with a slight more aggression towards him. And we ended off last as Ichi bellowed out a call, and through an unknown or untested ability of the Watchers, commanded out a level of control over the space. But I'm going to freeze there as I move over and actually begin with Eleni and Dante, who currently hold the spotlight. There are three. Sorry, go on, Vola.
I know that. Is this still one session for us? Because I know we reset in Daggerheart.
Yes, good point. So this is one session for us.
Okay. Because I was like, do I need to chuck all the stuff I've just got away, or is it still?
No. Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Well, certain abilities definitely do. Obviously, if you don't rest and stuff, but like Volu's prayer dice happen at the start of every session, as opposed
And your fear gets reset as well.
My fear resets, I think.
Oh, but okay, so we're still the same though.
In 5 sessions' time, we're still in the one session.
Yeah.
As Liam's there with like 500 fear, like.
Yeah, literally.
I say when the session ends.
So, spotlight with Eleni and Dante as the two of the creepy figures have sort of rushed up close to Dante. One of them still sort of holding back and keeping an eye on the still for now flying Eleni. So yeah, spotlight is yours for the moment.
Okay. Have you got anything you want to do, Chris?
Yeah, I want to stab him.
Go for it. You go first.
Nice and easy.
So yeah, I still have. I'm not going to use any more hope or anything at this time, so I'm just going to try to whack him and see what's the just to see what shakes loose. So
strength from you.
And the strength is +2. So that's a 14 with fear.
Okay, so just succeeds, but I do take a fear, taking me up to 5.
Boo-boo.
And I will get to interrupt after you roll your damage.
So he doesn't just poof off like the first one did.
To be fair, he's going to, but I feel like we should do the proper method, proper thing, so that we know to roll damage when you encounter creatures that aren't going to.
Okay, fair enough. So that is because I've also seen that because my sword is a light, is an additional D6 on that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So the sword is 2. So it's 2d10 plus 6. Then there's a +6.
Or plus a D6, isn't it?
Sorry, plus D6. Yep. So we're going to have. Whoops. What's that? I'm confused with what all that.
So, yeah.
Oh no, hang on, that's wrong. I've clicked on the wrong things, I think. So 2d plus 6. So that's 14 points of damage plus a d6. Is it already puffed?
Yeah, no. Yeah, plus a, well, it will, but plus a D6, so I might as well roll it through.
So 18 points.
Okay, as you carve through the creature, the flames licking outwards, and again, there is points at Dante of actually where your flames are just touching the corruption, they are sort of melting away, but it's not It is melting away as quick as it did when you were doing it in the previous place. But if you imagine sort of, so you swing, the embers fall and the bits melt away, and by the time you're turned back and swinging, it's sort of replaced and regrown.
Mm-hmm.
However, with the fear, I'm going to interrupt as the one closest is going to take a little swipe out to you. For a 11, which I don't think your 12 evasion. So again, deflecting it to the side. And I'd say that I think both of you would notice, though, Dante, you just sort of notice the movement, not necessarily exactly what they're doing. But for Eleni, you can see quite clearly the last one, obviously there's two, but the one fighting Dante and then the last one stood behind, turns and sort of gets the corrupted Eleni and continues sort of dragging them out towards the swamp point.
So, okay. So I want to. I've got this Furbolg charge feature. I don't know if I can do that while I'm flying, but it says that
Yeah.
I can. Let me just double check this. Hang on a second. It says I can basically go from when I succeed on an agility roll to move from far or very far into melee range.
Okay. So
With
so
yeah,
you
I just want to
make
look at the wording of this properly because I feel like I've got that wrong. A sec. It's part of my Furbolg feature.
Yes, I'm pretty sure that's.
Yeah.
Well,
So
she's just looking at that.
Mhm.
If did effectively your interruption mean that both people took a turn?
No, so one interruption.
And then the other
Oh
one
no,
wasn't in spotlight.
so I would have spent four. My apologies. So spend one first.
so you've spent one. You're down to
Thank
3.
you for down to 4, I believe.
You were at 4 when
Because
we started.
No,
no,
you
but
were up 5. You gained one because I
Ah, right.
I gained
succeeded
one
with
because you
fear.
rolled with fear.
Sorry,
Yeah, succeeded
not
with
paying
fear. So yeah.
attention.
No,
So
no,
yeah,
don't
you're
stress.
still at 4.
I also forgot to drop it.
So yeah, so basically, when I succeed on an agility roll to move from far or very far into melee range with one or more targets, I can mark a stress to do 1d12 physical damage to all targets within melee range. So are they close together, the two? I know there's the one
No,
that's picked
so
up.
the one that's dragging the corrupted Eleni away is moving in the other direction. They're both still
Right.
in range, but there's one with Dante and one that's
I
sort of
want to.
moving away.
I'm going to go for the one that's not with Dante because I reckon he can
Mhm.
handle himself. So I'm gonna try and sort of charge up to him.
Okay, so make me an agility.
Agility is +2. So that's a 20, but with fear.
Okay, so I'm back up to 5.
Yeah.
However, that is a success as you rush forwards, almost Eleni depleting the final bits of your wing, and the last moths that are there, as you land, it lets out like a shockwave of like silvery energy that rushes through. Is it a roll or just straight 12
It's
damage?
a 1d12.
Okay, to roll
So
your damage.
so that's 4 damage, and I'm marking a stress to do that.
Okay, and as it does pass through both the corrupted Eleni and the corrupted mobster disappear and explode as the silvery energy passes through them. As I'm going to steal because that was with fear. However, Eleni, as that you sort of landing, you've almost indented and damaged into the ground, and there's almost like a silvery, occasionally red, occasionally like a light that's sort of down in the mud of the hole you've made. But I am going to flick on the steel to the one that is going to attack Dante, continuing the onslaught, almost just unaware that the rest of them have fallen and they're just sort of slashing now towards this creature in front of them. However, Dante just easily with a flick of the sword, deflects them aside. Spotlight back to yourselves.
I don't have a hope to do just something fun. So
I could do something else now that I'm down on the ground.
By all means, my lady.
If you don't have anything. I would like my moths to attack as my companion, and I'm not sure how I'll do this now. But my moths are an actual like a ranger companion in Daggerheart rather than what they've been so far.
So I'm going to say that in this first time using it, it's almost not a thing. Obviously, Eleni, you don't know to do this almost, but actually, as you land and you see that sparkle of energy, you realize that you are standing 3 feet from the place where you were actually discarded and sank.
Oh.
And you suddenly get a pulse, and actually your moths go into defense. And for the first time without your purpose, obviously from now purposeful, but almost in this first use, without almost in reaction to your fear and anger, they just pulse towards the final enemy swarming towards. So they also make rolls in the same way. So they should have a plus.
And I want to use their experience as well after what you've just said. So the way that they do it, apparently I do a spellcast roll to actually command them, and I can still spend a hope for their experience. And they then do when they attack, they do a bite, which is a d6 of physical damage.
Okay.
So I think it's my spellcast roll, isn't it?
Yep. So your spellcast roll.
So I'm going to do
and
the
you wanted to
spellcast
use
roll.
their experience.
Yeah, I'm going to take away a hope to use their protective +2. And my spellcast roll is, what is it? It is, here's where I thought it would be on here and now it's not. What's the ranger spellcast roll? Will it be agility or instinct?
I'll get my thing up.
I'm literally looking at the ranger sheet. Sorry, guys. Let me just class ranger. It is agility.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. So why? Right. Okay. So that's +2 for the agility. So that's 12, 14, and then 16 because of the experience, but it's with fear.
Okay. So I gain a fear.
You gain a fear. So I've got you at 6 now.
No, that's 5 because you used it.
because I gained one.
Yeah, you gained one.
You gain one on your drop, and then you interrupt.
So I gained one with you. I dropped it, and I put to 4. Then Eleni rolled with fear. I don't have to spend for that first interrupt.
Yeah.
The fear, as far as I'm aware, again, I might be wrong. Tell me in the comments. But as far as I'm aware, the rolling with fear is enough for me to interrupt once, and then I can spend to have more NPCs interrupt in that moment.
So that's 16 with fear, which gets you up to 6 fear.
Yeah, because I can also interrupt with fear at any point. So I can actually just say, you've just attacked. Actually, I'm not going to let the spotlight pass over to Eleni. I'm going to spend a fear and interrupt.
Yeah, it's the spotlight that moves back to Liam, and then he can spend fear to do stuff.
But yeah, so right on now.
I'm going to send my moths out almost in a protective kind of agitated mode, and they're going to swarm around the guy in front of me
and just tear apart. And again, for Dante, you've seen Eleni's moths in the material, and they are physical because you've interacted with them, but they almost look spectral in the material world. Now that they're here and up close, they are like silver. But if you imagine like a physical moth with fur and also but pure silver, and they're biting and clawing and just rip apart this creature that in front of you. Hey Lenny, what I'm going to say for the fear side of things.
That was 4 damage, by the way.
That's still enough to explode the creature. What I'm going to say on the fear side, because obviously combat is technically over and there's nothing for me to interrupt with. You're almost frozen for a second, staring at this point. And again, Eleni, for a moment, it looks a little like some of the portal cracks you've seen when they sort of give off that excess energy. And just as the hole is sort of healing back over, you notice some small pink corrupted moths spark off this point. And it almost in your mind flashes to when you spoke with people about your moth. They are born at a point of imbalance.
Yeah.
And as you're thinking, you think if this is copying the real world, you're thinking maybe there's a portal under the spot where you
Oh.
were left, and maybe that's what
Is
allowed them off.
is the illusion Eleni still there?
No, completely gone. When
Gone.
you landed and burst it, that
Mm.
disrupted it as well. It damaged.
Right.
Like it's almost like some of these corrupted figures don't have any actual strength to their
Okay.
soul.
So I would turn and look to see how Dante's dealing with his guy.
Well, you just killed him.
Oh
didn't
yeah,
you?
the moth has just ripped
Oh,
him
so
apart.
just did him all. Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Okay.
and as you turn around, both of you are now just sort of stood in this misty, hazy, pink red swamp.
Dante just like look at just be like, what the fuck did I just see?
I'm gonna look at him and I'm just gonna say, this is where I died. Right here, this spot here. This is where I died. Where's Bolu? Where's Ichi?
They have. I don't know. Dante's physically unsure of how to respond to just that revelation, and is.
Can I use my simple life in the woods experience, Liam, to try and help me navigate based on the place that I remember, like to navigate out of this horrible place?
Can I aid in some way?
You
Yeah,
can.
so one of the things on the quick reference sheet
Yeah, it's
is
something about give advantage, which is an additional
you do get a
D6.
D6 advantage
Spend
if
a
you
hope
spend a hope.
to
Oh,
do
I have to spend a hope. Yeah, okay,
Or
go
you
on
can
then.
do your own check if you want. You know, that's
Yeah, you could do your own check if you wanted to.
Yeah, okay, let me do my own one because who knows? Well, I might end up
So-
gaining a hope.
It
So
will
would
be an
that
instinct.
be instinct, yeah?
Yeah.
And then my +3 for the simple life.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yay! So that's finally 17, 20. That's 22 with hope.
Okay, mark yourself a hope.
I feel like I don't need to do it now after I've just figured it all out. So,
You can still do a roller coat.
oh, critical.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
I've got 11 and 11
Oh.
-1.
Actually, those will help a little bit. So, Eleni, you start guiding them out. You start moving through the swampy mire, and there's those moments of like. So again, in the weirdly for yourself, you are almost following now the path that you followed once you had re-emerged, and almost in that still near death, being puppeted by moths, almost stumbling through, and occasionally you find yourself touching a rock to sort of gather the lay of the land, and flashing back to actually you fell and stumbled against this rock, and every now and again it starts to feel like maybe you're just looping.
Okay.
Can I just ask something just for a moment? I know you're in mid flow here. I'd like to do just a bit of role play once you're done.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, jump in.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know.
No, yeah.
If she's stumbling around, out of game, has like Aileni told us that she had died? I know she's.
I told
Yeah, she told
you.
you.
Yeah. I thought she had told me. I wasn't sure. Like,
I don't
if
think I
there's.
announced it to everybody, but I definitely told you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. So Dante will put a hand, very odd-looking hand, onto a slightly odd-looking Aileni, I guess, because you don't look like you
Still
now.
a furbolg.
Oh, okay, cool.
Still a furball, but actually in this world a bit larger in like actual bulk, more pronounced horns and things like that, but still the closest of the lot of you that maybe Volu, but
Volu's still a halfling, but yeah.
Dante will just put a hand to me like, Eleni, are you okay?
I'm finding it hard to tell the difference between this and the memory of this. I know this isn't real. I can see that this is the corruption, but I just keep getting like flashbacks, you know? The last time I was here, I'd woken up and everything hurt and I was cut and I was bleeding, and I think without the moths I'd have probably just stayed there. The moths got me out of this.
I know, say, all of us have our own histories with torment and things, but I can say I've never died. And I can't relate, unfortunately, to what you must be going through. And I don't even have answers of what has happened or what made you stay. But I can be thankful, and I'm glad you are here. Or at least I'm glad to have met you.
Thank you.
I-
As to why I came back, at the time I thought it was maybe because of my daughter. Maybe that. Now I'm less certain if these moths are Astera's moths or if they came through a portal from somewhere like this. I don't know.
Regardless of the reason, we can still be thankful. And thankful for you. Because if it wasn't for you, this little team up would have probably broken a long time ago.
Well, let's maybe find Volu and Ichi before we say the team is back together, because
and as
they
and
could
as
be
you
in.
say this, and as you're sort of trailing off with they could be anywhere, there's almost a soft, again, from a flame red ember colour pulses up from Dante's arm and meets the sort of silver light from Eleni. And as you're both thinking about meeting back up with your crew, in the distance, all of a sudden a light blue and a green beam shoot up into the air.
Okay.
And what was just swamp, and literally like when you were sure, Eleni, when you literally just stopped on this rock, you were like swamp,
Yeah.
swamp, 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 swamp. As you now turn, there's about 100 foot, and then there's a forest.
Are
And
you
for both
seeing
of you,
this
it's come out
too?
of nowhere.
We were just in a swamp, right?
It seems that whatever's using our memories are wanting us to take us somewhere.
So
Do you recognize this?
no, but we were talking about Ichi and Volu. Can I reach out and get hold of Dante's hand
Mm-hmm.
and just hold
Good
it and
magic check.
say, let's just think about Volu again? And I'm just sort of going to close my eyes and try and picture Volu in my head as I remembered him falling backwards off that ledge.
Yeah,
So
Dante.
for each of you, sorry, Dante, go on.
No, I'm just going to say Dante does the same.
As each of you sort of closes your eyes and focuses in on Volu and your own senses, for Eleni, it's that sort of same thing you had before with the portal, where your moths are like, he's over there,
Like, obviously.
let's go, like found him. And for Dante,
Oh, sorry, sidebar as well. You know that critical? Do I
Mhm.
get hope with that as well or not?
You get a hope and you clear a stress if you had any.
Oh, cool.
And for Dante, there's almost, if you imagine when you close your eyes, it is just all black. But then slowly you feel, first you see a small blue flame light up around where your chest is. You can then sort of sense a silvery flame from that way, and you do sense what feels, again, it's not like, oh, that's Volu, oh, that's Ichi, but there is a very familial, almost, and again for Dante, who maybe hasn't had this feeling for a very long time, like that's the home, that's where I'm heading. Almost it represents that hearth again in your mind when you feel those energies in the forest.
I'm going to open my eyes and go, he's that way. And I'm just going to sort of trust my moths now. The moth said he's that way.
And Dante, as you open your eyes, she's pointing in the direction you were feeling those energies.
I agree.
Come
And
on.
as you start walking, I'm going to flick back over to the others. There's a weird pause, sort of dropping out of combat as the figure's just still frozen in place. Volu and Ichi seem the only two that are able to move in the current moment. And again, Volu, you're much more clearer back in your senses. You don't feel like overwhelmed, or you're still very aware that this place feels weird and familiar. But it's like, whereas before it was like it was making you panicky. It was like, the people are coming for me. It's like that, all that's gone away now. And Ichi, again, you can very clearly see Volu standing in the upper window of the house closest to you.
I'll shout out, "Are you okay?"
I'm okay. Do you know where we are? You seem to come here quite confidently.
This place reminds me of where I grew up, and a lot of how you find your way is not with maps and compasses. It's more of a feeling, and it just felt right to come here. I was trying to get some information, try and get some help, because I mean, look at this place, but here felt right. Out of character moment. I don't know who he is, do I?
You can still see, sort of sense it, like, because he does, he more looks like Ichi with mushroom armor all over him, as
Okay.
opposed to a completely different being.
Okay.
Imagine Baldur's Gate when the mushroom people resurrect.
You're speaking to somebody who's not played a lot of that game, so.
Imagine
Well, that's very daring for me to say on a channel like this. But...
imagine like Ichi wearing plate armor that you can't see their features of, but it's like layered. Very much like one of the Monster Hunter armors, if you've ever played that game.
Yeah, I don't play a lot of games these days. I
Right,
play a lot of board
right.
games. A lot of board games, not a lot of video games these days.
But yes, so you would recognize them as Ichi.
Okay, yeah. Especially after speaking, I would recognize the cadence.
I suppose it's almost like as well, like the sort of the skin of a cactus or a succulent is now just more mushroomy. It's like a slightly different, it's different shades and it's like a different texture.
But yeah, so yeah, sorry.
Right.
Shall we explore this place some more? There was a large building over there that seems to be kind of the center point.
Sure, if you feel like that's the right way to go, this is more your area of expertise. I'm a little bit out of my depth.
Trust me, this is not expertise at all. This is working on feeling.
Well, I do trust you, so lead the way.
I'll hop off the bedside table that was perched up
I'll
against
make my way
the
over
window
to where Volu is. Like, meet them at the front door kind of vibe.
As you sort of walking past Ichi, the corrupted figures are still just sort of frozen in their last stance, eerily sort of positioned as you move past them. But you would be able to meet each other at the front door, and You're looking
Did you come here alone?
No, we all came through. I don't know where the others are.
Did you all come through together, or like?
One by one, but yeah, like seconds apart.
So they should be close.
I'm going to take a knee and put my hand on the ground, and I'm going to try and, again, using my like from the earth kind of thing, like try and connect with this foreign ground and kind of like try and push my senses into it to kind of like get a sense of possibly where the others are.
Okay, give me a instinct.
I'm gonna give him one of my prayer dice.
Okay, yeah, nice.
Oh, what does that do?
Which number are you giving him?
I rolled a 4 and a 3, so I shall give him the 3.
Lovely. So I add 3 as well.
Yep.
Cool. So I'm adding 5 total.
Also, Paul, just to note, look at the secondary ability of that thing. Jesus.
Yeah. You can do it after the fact.
Not even just that, you can gain hope, as many hope as the roll is as well.
What? I didn't read that bit.
Yeah, there's so you can add to a roll's result after the roll is made. That's pretty cool. Or gain hope equal to the result.
Which one's this? Sorry.
That's his prayer dice feature.
His prayer dice.
Actual therapy feature.
Damn.
So just to know, if you're ever low on hope.
Yeah.
But yes,
I
add
have
that three
a.
directly to it.
I've now got 1 prayer dice left.
So you gave me a 3, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. So I have a total of 23 with fear.
Okay. What does that put me up to? Sorry, Mama, just knocked my dice.
7.
You were
7,
on
I think.
6, so you've
Yes,
now
I'm
got
up
7.
to 7. Thought I wanted to check. But yes, as you reach out, it does succeed, however, with the fear.
Mm-hmm.
And first off, it's strange. And actually, we're sort of leaning into your newish mushroomy ability, your fungal ability, which is actually to sort of pass messages via mushrooms. However, in this weird sort of corrupted space, almost so Dante and Eleni, you're just following your instincts as you're moving forwards, and all of a sudden, mushrooms just start sprouting out of the ground, almost pathwaying. As Ichi, you're not sensing them, Ichi, but there's almost that feedback from the mycelium network that, yeah, we got them.
Okay. I think I've almost like given them an idea of where we are.
And for Eleni and Dante, not that you're needing this pathway, but it is matching up directly with, and it's not necessarily like literal path, but it's like that tree explodes with mushrooms, and this tree suddenly grows some, and it
bioluminescent waypoints.
Yeah, so leading you.
Every video game, like just the glitter floating.
Yeah, the direction you were already sort of following in, but just maybe confirming.
Yeah.
I feel like these mushrooms might be magic.
Kill you.
However, back to Ichi and Volu for the minute.
Volu. You just fell in. You just willingly walked over and almost dove in. Was that also a sense of like the right place to be? Or did you feel more compelled?
I want to say almost a bit of both. Just
Okay.
as we were walking through the the tunnel cave systems we were walking through, I just got a feeling that I've not had for a very long time. And I just needed to lie down. I had no idea where I was,
Right.
and I just went to lie down. And then I landed here.
You went to lie down in the pool that was about 6 feet below where you were stood.
You can say that I generally did not know there was a pool there.
Oh wow. Okay.
As
Interesting.
soon as we entered that room, I just had that feeling of peace and home, and I just wanted to feel the grass, be connected to the ground, and then I was here and in this unnatural, uneasy, daunting place.
Yeah, Ichi kind of like at that point like touches the ground, which is also like kind of that mimicry sludge kind of. We'll just kind of like put their hand down to that and go, yeah, so I don't think there's much grass here.
And as you're trailing off with that thought, one of the trees just to your left sort of blooms some bioluminescent mushrooms, and out of the, as you almost react maybe with, weapons, swords, shields, out of the darkness comes jogging. For Ichi, you seem to have that your divine sense that you normally have to activate just seems to be perpetually running here.
Mm-hmm.
As you see the sort of ember energy and silver energies emerging from the darkness. For Volu, probably recognizing Eleni faster than Dante, but as for Eleni and Dante, there wasn't that normal transition of, oh, I see a clearing in the distance. It was just walking, walking, walking. Oh, we're out. It was like that quick of,
Yeah.
suddenly you emerged into this clearing, and you are now in the village. Concerningly, there's 3 goopy figures frozen in place just over there. But then also you do see Volu standing with a mushroomy, maybe Chi?
Okay. I would shout like, "Hey, guys!" and quicken my pace to sort of get to them.
Hi.
You look different.
Yes. When I was leaning out to the portal, it felt like your energies were helping me through, and I guess this is kind of like how it's keeping me here, making me welcome in whatever this place is. It's kind of
So hang on, was that your mushrooms?
I th- um well, I wanted to find where you were, and I felt like I did a job of telling you where we were, so maybe?
There were mushrooms popping up on trees just randomly, but
Right.
yeah.
Ichi kind of like turns to a tree and just kind of do any mushrooms appear?
Interesting.
Really, Chi, you would almost get, again, there's no words in it, but that communication you receive of just like, done.
I
And you
think
just get the like, job well done sort of, like job satisfaction.
I kind of like look at my hands and just go, thank you?
yeah. I am also, as soon as I finish speaking to Ichi, I'm going to turn around and I'm going to scoop Volo up in a hug, sort of against his will. And then as soon as I've done it, I'm going to sort of put him back down again and go, you really scared me. Don't you ever wander off like that again.
Bolu kind of catching his breath at the more muscular Eleni. Okay.
And where are we?
I don't know. I think that may be a clue to what that might help us, but everything is just different here. I don't even know if we should interact with them. They were attacking Ichi when I saw them, and then
There was some attacking Dante as well when we got together.
I'm not sure why these ones are almost frozen in time. I told them to stop, and
And they
they
did.
took it a bit too literally, I think.
The ones that we killed sort of exploded. It's like they.
Two others exploded that Volu managed to dispatch, but I was very aware that this is a new place, and I don't know how sentient these inky forms are.
And now that you're looking at them, Ichi, and they're frozen, in their frozen state, they almost look like golems, like creation statues. They poor, goopy, not firmed clay statues, almost like
Moldable, malleable.
Yeah. So just still like almost it could be an inanimate object if it wasn't moving and attacking you.
It's strange. When we were interacting with them, they seemed or looked scared, but I don't know if that's actual feeling or if they were mimicking scared, like the weird fairies that we saw back in the corridors and the rooms. Like it feels like an echo
Yeah.
of that, almost as if someone threw ink on a page and said this emotion.
So the question is though. Well, two questions in my head. There was that archway that looked like some kind of a portal entrance in one of those rooms that we came through.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that came to here? And then the other question is, how the hell do we get back? I'm assuming I haven't seen any of the guards, so I'm assuming they've stayed.
I honestly have no idea. When
You did tell them to stay before.
yeah,
you
when
went
you all jumped through, I made sure they stayed behind just so it's kind of guarding the entrance for us. I have not got a bloody clue on how we get back.
I mean, can we think our way back? That we were thinking about Volu when we sort of got a ping on the direction you were in.
Oh, we can give it a go, I guess.
There's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home.
I just started thinking, and then all of a sudden the kitchen in the other building starts glowing.
A stream of sausages flies out of the window towards you. You cartoonishly smell it and start levitating.
On tiptoes.
So, I think for most of you, you start focusing, and there's not really anything. For Ichi, as you focus, it almost feels locked. It feels like you almost feel like you're pressing mentally against the barrier of it.
Mm-hmm.
And you think that you can just like you're thinking, you could just will yourself out of this. But there's something else locking or blocking the path. But for the rest of you, it just doesn't work.
I think there's a way to get out. Maybe it's something to do with the oath I took. Something about protecting the gates of the realms. Something there, but there's almost like there's something we need to do. I don't know. Like we're not here by accident.
Do either of you recognize this place? Like, is it significant to either of you?
I don't recognize it, as in I don't know that it's called
I mean,
half over, or I don't. But the place just feels like the small village I grew up in. Not exactly the same, but the feeling is there. And I was saying to Ichi before you arrived, perhaps we should explore and maybe start with the big building in the center. Maybe that could have some information in it. I don't know. I've not tried to read any books or anything here, so I don't know what will happen, but maybe that is a good place to start.
Mm-hmm.
And as you look around, it does. As you're sort of looking, if this was a village in the material plane, it does very much look like Chief's Hut or gathering place and Chief's Hut, and then individual family houses. And you can easily start to make your way up that way.
Cool.
Okay, so you move on up and in.
Can I be kind of near Eleni, but like kind of just behind?
Mm-hmm. As you move up, the almost large barn double doors are all already open. As you see an almost like, if you imagine like a Viking feast house, like the log house
Like
that
a
would,
longhouse.
yeah, a long house. So as it sort of the double doors open, it's just rows of tables, long tables that extend away from you, and a big heavy seat that sits in the far side. Volu, the feeling doesn't change, but none of this is familiar. It's almost grander than the sort of what the flashes of memory that you have. But nevertheless, you're sort of able to enter, and again, like everywhere else, there's the mockery of food and plates, and a spit of a corrupted boar that's half eaten, just still slowly turning across a purpley crackling fire that gives off no heat. And as you sort of step over the threshold, Volu, you immediately feel like. So, firstly, you get a wave of that same distracted energy that you had when you stepped into the cylindrical chamber. But for some reason, in this world, it almost hits you, whereas when it hit you in the material plane, it was very much like an emotional overwhelmness. Your entire body just, and it took over you. It almost asks permission. There's almost like you think you can activate that like a sense. Almost like it reminds you more of detect magic. Like, yes, that thing energy is always there, but I feel like I could ignore it if I wanted to in this space. But you feel a pull of an energy coming from down below. Maybe some sort of basement to this space. There is also doors that lead out the back that you, again, are assuming probably lead to the main chief's home.
Okay. Does anyone want to do anything here? Like saying like the spotlight's kind of on the group at the moment.
Yeah, I
So
would say for the rest of you, you don't get the sense that Volu got pulling downwards, but you can also see the room and you can see the doors that you would imagine lead through to the leader's actual abode.
I think I would start wanting to explore, and I want to use my Wildborn ability, my Lightfoot ability, Liam, which gives me advantage on being stealthy, on moving silently. So I sort of want to start making my way in. My bow is away. I've got a quarterstaff, so I'm going to be holding the quarterstaff just in case something jumps out. I'm not sure what I roll actually. If you want me to roll to be quiet,
Agility.
agility.
And you'll get your +2. Anybody else choosing to stealth or doing anything else that you want to have a look around or anything?
So advantage is a +2, not
plus a d6 if it's advantage.
Oh, okay. So I get my 2 from agility and then a d6 on top for that. Right, okay.
I want to have a think about what this world might be, how it might be taking important points in our lives. So, like, what was that pull that we've gone through? And I want to use the I'm the genie's bottle to think of what Tenebris might know. Try to have any kind of flashbacks of maybe sharing some of his knowledge or what he might do.
Okay, spend the hope and make the roll. Coming back to Eleni, what was your?
It was 16 with hope.
Okay, mark yourself a hope and a success. You are managing to stealthily move through, keeping so Volu, I imagine you're keeping just with Eleni as she's moving forwards.
Yep.
Fail with hope.
Fail with
Eight.
hope.
Eight.
Okay, so mark yourself a hope. Dante, it's weird. Like this doesn't ring through anything that Tenebris ever thought about the corruption or anything like this ringing like that. Also, interestingly for yourself, like he didn't ever really think about the corruption like that. It was more,
It wasn't so
and
much the corruption, there was more this world.
but also in terms of what he's encountered. You know what I mean? However, it for Dante, you're thinking about what Tenebris knows, and you're thinking about what you're encountered, and it's like it almost feels like the fire plane, but isn't, and it almost feels like the favor isn't, and it's like you definitely. I'm gonna with the fail, but the hope. I'm gonna say you definitely think you have plane shifted, as opposed to just been teleported somewhere in Astera, right? You think that you are completely on another plane,
Mm-hmm.
but also you've never seen a plane that looks like this, or that gives off the vibes of multiple other planes. So that's why I'm not. Ichi, anything you want to do as you're moving through the sort of table, kitchen, dining, or log house feasting space?
Are there any kind of like pantry aspects to this house?
You'd see a few off the left and right that lead to not directly to the pantry, but definitely kitchen. The sort of food preparing spaces.
Can I have a little look around for if there's any tangible food here? Because obviously, if we don't know how long we're going to be here, at the moment, Ichi's going into like survival mode of being like, okay, well, we're going to need food.
Mm. Yes, so you can give me a instinct.
Why am I obsessed with dropping this goddamn dice? What am I giving you?
Instinct.
Instinct. Wonderful. What I'll do is I'll roll this one die twice. First one will be hope. Second one will be fear.
No worries.
Cool. That's a 3 for hope and a 6 for fear. So 9 with fear.
Okay, so
Wait, and I'm adding instinct. What's that?
yes.
Yeah, 9 for fear.
Okay, so I go up to 8 fear. You catch that one? Sorry, Mum.
Sorry, fear.
Up to 8 fear.
Yeah.
Stop giving him fear.
I can't help. I've yet to roll with hope.
And simply stop rolling.
Ichi's fucked.
Yeah. Ichi, as you're sort of looking around, you're sort of taking a look, and it doesn't look like it. Everything here seems to be made of that same
Like inky goop.
inky, goopy, nasty, corrupted material. Anything from Volu as you sort of get now into the center of the room, and you can see the others sort of spreading out and looking around, though no one sort of seems to have found anything. Again, Volu, the only thing feeling wise is that pull downstairs, though you don't see any like trapdoors or way down in this space.
A feeling downstairs. Is it like in the center of the room downstairs? Is it towards the back?
It feels well, a little bit in front of you, but more like definitely center of the log house bit.
Okay. Can I go under the table and walk and crawl under the table to see if I can see anything?
Yeah, you start crawling under the table. I'd say that as you get to the center, you get directly above it. It is downwards through the floor.
But there's no indication of.
No, there doesn't seem to be any sort of like that. You don't see any trapdoor. You don't see any way down as such. I mean, there's stuff spilled down here, but like it seems like part of the scene as it was.
Everything okay, Volu?
There's something underneath us. I
Right.
walked in here and I just know we need to go down, but there's no way to go down.
Where down? Where do you want to go down?
As in the not
Right,
up.
right below you. Yes.
Yeah.
I can see if I could dig down. See if I can make us a tunnel.
As you
Can I
sort of
just can I
start.
just think, like just think of a way down, like a hatch, a hole, just to see if it.
Okay, so Dante, give me a. It's going to be a presence.
Okay.
If I've moved
Uh,
further in, Liam, am I
yeah.
seeing anything different as I move into the room?
So as you sort of get, well, first off, so Ichi, it's going to take second but no roll. As weirdly, while you're standing on it and it feels firm, the second you think I'm going to burrow into this and start digging, it almost muck turns to the goopiness again. Again, that level of like, you think a lot of this is moldable, but like, why you have access to be able to, you're not quite sure. Because the others don't seem to be able to just as easily. Like they're trying to impart will over things and like when they're moving things, but you just start moving bits, clumps of the floor apart. As you put it down, it's just mud. Dante, what was your
It rolled. I'm not sure what that roll is.
that rolled? I don't know what that roll was.
I'm going to do it separately. I was going to say, can I do it? Can I use the genie bottle one again? Just thinking of magics.
Yeah, drop a hope.
So is it okay if I just roll these just two separately again? I'm
Just
not.
roll them separately.
Yeah, I'm fiddling around with trying to be fancy. So that's 17 with hope.
So 20 because you get your +3 if you're spending
Oh,
hope for.
yes. Well, I included the plus.
You already
Actually, no.
added the +3.
Yeah, I already and I didn't do two, but it's
No, because
plus
you
3.
rolled a 13 and a 4,
Yeah,
so that's 17,
yeah,
and then you add your
plus
+3.
3.
Yeah, so 20.
Right.
20 with hope, so
Hope.
mark
Yep.
yourself a hope. So, and Eleni, as you're moving through, you sort of get through to the back end of the where it sort of starts to turn. So, firstly, the chair isn't made of corrupted goop.
Oh, is it a real chair?
Looks like a real throne.
Ooh.
And almost simultaneously, Beecham, Ichi, you sort of you make a hole in the floor, like it's definitely not big enough for you to jump down yet, but you make a hole and are able to sort of peer down into the basement. And Dante, at the same time, you sort of focus out for a second, and in the corner, the floor just changes and shifts and becomes a trapdoor. Ichi looking down. So firstly, it should be dark in there, but you can see fine. But you don't see like torchlight, it's just light. And it looks like it goes about 80 foot down.
Oh,
It seems to be quite deep wherever it is that we're going. Also, weirdly, I can see it. Normally, I need a torch. This is weird. Apparently, being a mushroom means I can see in the dark,
Well,
which
that's it. And
is
as Volu, as you sort of peer over, you can also see. And it's not like you haven't been affected by light and dark up here. It's actually giving you the vibes of some of the magical temples and stuff you've been in where the space is just lit constantly by magic.
Don't think it's the shrooms, bro.
Oh?
But yes, to Eleni,
Yeah.
this seems to be a
Can
real
I
throne.
examine this chair a little bit more closely?
Yeah, give me a
A chair.
Yeah,
Chair
Oh no.
give me an instinct as you're taking a look over it.
instinct.
Dante will just walk over towards
I hate
Ichi and
rolling.
just like lean over and go, Ichi.
That's. Go on, sorry.
No. They're just going to go, Ichi. Have you tried tasting yourself yet?
No, why would I do that? Have you
Uh,
tried tasting yourself?
I'm not an edible, like, vegetable.
I was a
Volu's,
plant before this.
Volu's belly will start to gurgle.
I was a
I-
plant. Right, everyone, calm down. I understand that there's no food apparently in this place, but that doesn't mean that we immediately turn to eating the person who's made out of plant. All right? I'm a little bit insulted that this was like we haven't even been here that long. We've been here for a matter of maybe an hour, and the first thing.
I'm a vegan, sorry.
Well, veganism's about consent, and I don't consent. Just because I'm humanoid doesn't mean you can eat me.
Liam,
I
that's a
may be
clip.
plant, but I have thoughts, feelings, and emotions.
Veganism is consent.
Yeah.
That was a 17 with fear from me.
Okay, so I'm up to 9 for. Okay. And the 17 will succeed, however. So, definitely real. There's like wood, metal, actual furnishings, and like cushions, and this is somebody's actual throne.
I'm going to turn around to the guys down at the far end and go, this
So
is
we're like
real.
arguing about eating.
Yeah,
eating
yeah.
something in it.
Yeah, I'm oblivious to all of that. I'm just going to be like, guys, this is a real chair. This is
Ichi's
like
like
a
holding
real
a shield
throne.
up to Dante.
Yeah.
Stop messing about.
Messing about? He's talking about eating me. I'm concerned for my well-being, and weirdly, the inky people are the safe ones.
Yeah, I'm just, yeah, I'm turning around and going, first real thing we've seen.
Dante will go and inspect it.
Okay. You can go up and have a look. It seems to be a real throne.
And inspect it for any kind of magic thing.
Does it look like a halfling-sized throne, or does it look like a throne for a big?
Looks like more for a medium-sized creature.
Okay.
I'm going to sit on it.
Yeah.
Not you than me, mate.
Okay. So, Bolu and Ichi, can you make me an agility check, please?
Oh,
You got
Wait.
hope.
there is hope.
Yay!
Agility, you say?
Yes, please.
Wonderful. That is a 19 with hope.
Woo!
That was an 8, but I'm going to use my other prayer dice to up it to a 12
Okay.
with fear.
Oh, so that's 10.
So, that's up to 10. However, pause on that button, because, yeah, I'm going to spend 4 for...
Oh.
What do you
wow.
mean? No. No. I know
Uh-oh.
I've given you pretty much all of those 4 that you're spending right now. No.
Dante,
You do everything else. You let everyone carry on. I give you 1 fear. And
Dante, as you sit in the chair, firstly, like before where it did with Eleni, your vision like TV static, and for a second, this room isn't filled with halflings, it's filled with fire elementals, Ifriti, as a, and you don't think this longhouse was from here. And actually, as you're sort of seeing this, you're not noticing, as the rest of you do, almost the tips of the chair just begin to light up with Dante's blue flame.
Oh.
All of a sudden, under Volu and Ichi, the hole that had been punched in expands, almost like swallowing tables and shit. Like Ichi, you dive back, almost having to extend out extended vines to grab to the wall and hold on. Volu, even with your prayer dice, you jump, and the floor just moves away at the last second as you begin to tumble down. As that's happening, and Eleni, you're sort of moving towards the roof of the log house, explodes outwards, entirely away. And floating in the sky above you are 3 angelic, half angel, half corrupted creatures, fixed, and actually noticing fixed eye contact on Dante.
Sword and shield at the ready.
Currently, the spotlight is on you. However, sorry, Volu, as you fall, so 12 points. So what is that to your thresholds?
Is that damage?
Yes. So sorry, 12 points of damage. You're still
You mute yourself.
Oh, you're back.
Yeah, my mic's playing up. 11 to 21, so I think I get 2 hit points off.
So you would take 2 points of damage, 2 hit points. You can minus any on your armor if you want to. You can minus up to 1 per hit on your armor if you want to. Okay, so you take 1 armor point and 1 hit point as you hit, and again, Volu, against solid rock, no longer that mushy, corrupted creation. The wind is like knocked out of you as you like splatter to the floor, and you're lying in like some sort of created basement. It's definitely worked stone. It's not like a cavern. It's like, brick and mortar. And as your vision's sort of hazy and you're looking over, there's an archway made of stone, just like the one that you saw in the catacombs just before you came through this portal. However, spotlight on the guys above. For now, Volu isn't super in the combat. You're sort of out of... You can involve yourself whenever you want, but they do not seem interested on you in the slightest. So spotlight for the moment on the 3 above.
I would like to grab my bow, and I would like to. They're focused on Dante. You said they were angelic, but they're definitely corrupted, right? So they look like bad guys.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
So it's like it's like in the same way as everything has, but almost slightly more formed, maybe slightly more solid than some of the others. And angelic in the sense of it has a halo, the wings are out in full, and you can see that they're supposed to be feathered wings, but it's obviously icky, goopy.
Right. I am going to spend a hope to use my ranger's focus, and I'm going to try and make an attack against the nearest one.
Okay.
And yeah, if I'm successful, I'll tell you. I'll tell you what that does. So with my bow, so it's reliable. I've just realised I should have been doing +1 to attack rolls on this, and I've been forgetting.
Ooh.
So that's a +3. Oh, critical, double 10. So that's for a total of 23.
Okay. So
And
is this a no? Does it do normal damage as well as whatever extra?
so hang
It
on.
does.
So I'm
Because
gonna. I'll
on a
tell you in a sec.
critical,
But on a crit, I get a hope and I clear a stress. So
you
that's...
get a hope and a cure stress. You also get the maximum dice. You get the maximum damage plus a dice roll of the actual hit.
Yeah, it says start with the highest possible value the damage dice can roll and then make a damage roll as usual and add it. So the damage would have been 2d6 plus 5.
So 12,
17.
add a normal roll,
Yeah,
right? Because you take the dice at maximum and then roll as normal, yeah?
yeah.
Yep.
So that's 9 plus 5 is 14, add 12 is 26. So
Ooh.
hang on, and
Big
now let me
hit.
just read my focus. It says if they don't die, they have to mark a stress.
Okay.
And I will know exactly what direction they're in. It's a bit like Hunter's Mark. It sort of means that
Nice.
as long as they're my focus, I know exactly where they are.
Okay, the arrow soars up to the nearest creature, striking them dead in the chest for the 26 points of. So that would translate to 3 wounds.
Yeah. Is that like
And
a severe?
that's a severe. And also, as the arrow hits, it almost turns like a silvery gold passing through them and leaving a moth imprint in like a burning moth that you just now have a fixed sense of.
Cool.
However, I'm going to spend a fear to interrupt. Actually, I'm going to spend. Might as well just spend because we reset at the start of a session, don't we?
I
So,
don't know if we do.
okay, I'll be
We'll check
careful.
that out.
I'll spend 2 fear, bringing me back down to 4.
Yeah.
And the 2 angels that you didn't hit, eyes still locked on Dante. The one that you hit now is sort of shifting and moving in reaction to it. Dante, their eyes glow, and from the ceiling where it's open now to the heavens, 2 golden beams of light. Can you make me an agility roll, please?
Just Dante on me as well.
Just Dante. So these are like, as if you imagine being raptured, taking us to some pop culture at the moment. But basically 2 beams of light, just like almost like Ichi's moonbeam.
Okay, so I'm trying to. I keep losing my character. +2. Do I have anything to use? No. So. So that's. Yeah, so that's. Hang on, no, I've done that wrong again. Sorry. It would have been 15 with fear.
Okay, so I get a fail up to 5, and unfortunately, a 15 in this instance is a fail just. Dante, in an instant, you are now not TV static, you are back in the Fireplane Loghouse. And actually, as you look up, there are real angels currently assaulting this whoever. And again, you feel like you're some Fireplane Lord. You don't recognize it, you've not seen this before, but the corrupted celestials are assaulting, but whereas yours look like goopy, entirely molded from, in your vision, they are half and half. So like this side's still perfect celestial, this side corrupted. And as that beam hits you, first off, 17 points of damage. How does that hold up against your threshold?
Major, which I'm going to give a point to my armor.
Okay, so 1 point to your armor, 1 point to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And as you instinctively try to like get out of the position, you find yourself gripped and paralyzed to the chair. As the searing golden light starts to melt away, for those looking, Dante's turning a shade of red that even under his own flames you haven't seen before. And that is what we'll call the end of this week's session. Thank you very much for joining. Honestly, it's been an absolute blast. I've very much enjoyed Daggerheart so far. Please tell us in the comments if we're doing anything wrong. We will look at some rules over the next weeks, but I'm always open to feedback. And if you're enjoying it, thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much for playing. If you want to find out what happens next time, hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell so you know when the videos are coming out. And as always, roll well. Bye.